Hello everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here.
Ain't no drill.
Today we're going to be talking about one of my more anticipated films of 2018, and that of course is 12 Strong, starring Chris Hemsworth, Michael Pena, and Michael Shannon. Now, this was a movie that I was really excited to see, and as you all know from previous reviews, I am not really the biggest fan of a Hollywood war story, because I always feel that those who had fought and perished in wars or also survived as well, they should be preserved honorably in the history books and museums. However, I am not going to prevent myself from seeing a war film, especially if it discusses a topic of war that I do not know much about. And 12 Strong is a story of the horse soldiers, who are 12 soldiers that were dropped into northern Afghanistan to side with the Northern Alliance in Afghanistan to take down one of the major Taliban strongholds right after 9/11. So, as someone who was alive and heard about 9/11 and watched it all unfold on television on a day where I was supposed to go to college and ended up finding out that two of the most prominent buildings in my city were knocked down by terrorist-driven airplanes, and the same could be said about what happened with the Pentagon and, of course, United 93 in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. I wanted to know more about the first soldiers that went in to fight the Taliban and Al-Qaeda, and also, this was apparently known as Al-Qaeda's greatest defeat. So, I was excited to see this movie, and then I started hearing some of my fellow YouTubers saying that it's good, but it's not the greatest of films, it's nothing special, the acting is really nothing special, and you know something, while I did agree with them on that perspective, I still will say that the best part of this film is the story, because I wanted to know what these soldiers had to go through. I wanted to know why they were in fact on horseback. I also thought that a very important thing was to also show exactly what the Taliban was doing to the people who actually live in Afghanistan. And the best part is, it's not overly preachy, but you do get a glimpse of Afghani people being tortured by these extremists and basically screaming for mercy and asking for help from people who are trying to liberate them. The cast, of course, with the people that I mentioned, all had their roles to play. Michael Pena, of course, he was there for a little bit of comic relief, but he also showed a very serious side, which I embraced. Chris Hemsworth, you know, I still don't really feel that I get wowed by him, but it is still good because he still gives me a good performance. I also appreciated Michael Shannon, although I really feel that there needed to be some more of him. And the same has to be said about Trevante Rhodes, who is from Moonlight. I loved Moonlight, I appreciated his performance in Moonlight, and I really was upset over the fact that some of these soldiers really didn't get their real time to shine. It was really mostly revolving around Chris Hemsworth, doing a lot of on-screen time with Naveed Nagaban, who happens to play the leader of the Northern Alliance, General Dotsum, and I gotta say that his performance definitely was the highlight of the film, because here's a guy who is truly battle-scarred, and Chris Hemsworth's character is a guy that never saw combat. So the two of them are learning to set their pride aside and, more importantly, learn from one another on how to strategically take this terrorist organization down. The battle sequences are absolutely beautiful, with the beautiful scaled-back shots of mountain landscapes and deserts. It was just absolutely a sight to behold. There were some points in time where I actually felt like I was watching a modern-day Lawrence of Arabia. I'm not gonna lie about that, especially with the soldiers riding on horseback. Still, while it may not be the perfect movie, I was very happy to see this little piece of the war on terror unfold, and also know that in the end, these soldiers are now being immortalized in a statue that is actually at the World Trade Center today. It was erected in 2012 to commemorate the horse soldiers and the first battle against Al-Qaeda that indeed was a victory. And it is more than just a victory in this film. And I'm not going to say to you exactly what I mean by that, because I still think that as Americans, or just as history buffs, it is very important to see this modern piece of history. So I would definitely say go see this movie on the big screen because the camera work will definitely make it worth your while. Is it a movie that I would want to see again? Yes, it is, but it's not a movie that I could see myself watching countless times. That's why it's also not a movie that I would want to get on DVD. It definitely is still an important film to watch, and hey, if you think it's worthy for your collection, then by all means, I salute you. So I am going to be giving 12 Strong 3 stars out of 4. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Put your comments in the box below, and let's discuss 12 Strong, and I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.